Peace. How's the vibrate? Y'all know what it is. A drink of water. Basically, finding the information, connecting the dots of previous videos I've done, and we're connecting the dots with, let's see, this video right here, basically the 12 movie specialist video I did a while back. Yep. So if you're looking for it, you type in 12 movie specialists on YouTube, and let's see. These are the playlists that you could find it under. You know, if you go to my page, you could look under the astrology playlist, 2018 videos, daily reminders, or universal downloads playlist to, tap in with this. And again, I did this video called the 12 movie specialist. And, for one, and with doing this, sometimes again, being so self-aware, I want to make sure that, I'm not doing this from a state of, trauma in the sense of like, trying to validate myself. Like, because I just made a post about, like not trying to be the first one, like, oh, I was the first one to channel that information, or, you know, I was the only one talking about this at one time on, and, it helps to, I guess it's, you know, semi the same as like, when we do, and I spoke on this, what's the word for it? When somebody, dang, it's funny how the simplest words, what I'm saying, be hard to grasp in certain moments. But I don't know if I call it voucher magic, but in so many words, like when we like, oh, I was the first one to do this, or trying to prove or show how, you know, hey, I was right about this, or like to almost like validation. That's what I'm getting to, like trying to make sure that, I'm not coming from a place of like like trying to validate myself when I do, certain videos or things of this nature to kind of connect and tie in information. It's like, not looking for validation, you know, with presenting this type of perspective, like, hey, this is how this lines up with my old video. But again, I'm just speaking it out because it's being aware to the T, being aware of ourselves, to the most subtleties, you know what I'm saying? Like the most subtle ways that we could be, you know, in essence, having a little toxic ego perspective, or again, doing things from a fearful or traumatic space, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but the 12 movie specialist, and dang, it still won't come to me because I was like, no different though when somebody got a business and they like, look at all the people who said, my readings was on point, or look at all the people who, vibe with my, my jewelry or my art, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a thin line between, you know what I'm saying, like, like showing like, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is just is what it is. These are the people who genuinely, vibe with my goods or services, you know, and it's a thin line between that and like, you see how, great my stuff is. Cause, again, with the energy of something being great or being on point, it speaks for itself in a lot of cases. Now, again, because we are here in the physical, some things we're gonna allow for it to in some moments allowing for it to speak for itself. And then we might just say a little something every now and then too, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, check this out, you know what I'm saying? See how many people, you know, vouching for the goods and services that I provide and vouching for the quality of the goods and services I provide, you know what I'm saying? But again, the 12 movie specialist basically was in essence, like a little download that I receive in a perspective, just a unique perspective of looking at the quote unquote zodiac uh signs or archetypes. You know what I'm saying? These 12 archetype or archetypical energies, and looking at them as like like when we talk about this earthly plane and it being like a, illusion, again, like nothing but the magicians, you know, performing their presenting illusions, and you could be presenting illusions that, you know, uh, divide your inner realm or, creates delusion, or you could be a magician that uses the illusion to, bring things together, to harmonize and to integrate, energies. And basically, without going too deep into it, the 12 movie specialists, again, like seeing each zodiac sign as, for lack of a better word, I call it a movie specialist in the sense of like somebody preparing you for the stage of coming onto the stage of Earth, you know what I'm saying? And, so many, speaking of these different words, even again, like checking the etymology of certain words and just paying attention to the certain words that's used in certain situations. Because when I thought about just now like a movie specialist. And then I also thought about like how we'll use the word, like how the word host is interchangeable, but almost kind of, has the same energy when you talk about, a host is also a word used for parasites, like looking for a host, and a host of a show or a host of a movie or, you know what I'm saying? Think of Beetlejuice, like the ghost, the host with the most, or the ghost with the most, you know what I'm saying? But uh uh it ain't no coincidence that, you know what I'm saying, with Beetlejuice, the show and cartoon, again connected to the Beetlejuice star, almost like on the shoulder part of the Orion constellation when you look at it in the sky. Uh, also connected to, the walker in between the realms energy. Beetlejuice is in between the the physical realm and the spirit realm, in essence, more so the underworld. And with this video, 12 movie specialists, and the number 12 goes down to three, and three is connected to that messenger, Mercury slash, you know what I'm saying, energy that's, walking in between the realms, delivering the messages to the different, you know, quote unquote gods, goddesses, different energies. But with the 12 movie specialists, it's like, all right, you know, Aries energy, like, and again, like your natal chart is almost like a script in essence. Your natal chart, your astrology, natal chart, you know what I'm saying, where your sun sign, what's your sun sign, moon sign, where Mercury was at when you was born, where Jupiter was at, all the way, all the way down. And that's literally like your script of stepping onto the stage of this earthly plane, stepping into this illusion. And again, as I say illusion, one thing you'll learn, because after like DMT experiences, some people could tap into this from, just meditation itself. But like after stripping away the veil so strongly, you like, like you really like, oh man, it's an illusion, you know what I'm saying? It's, I'm not really, you know, KarlHaynes or universal frequency, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm more than just my human body. So, you kind of go through that energy and then realizing like, wait, all right, when I'm in this realm, it's a balance, it's about a certain level of equilibrium, and ascension or, spiritual transformation ain't about just being in my crown chakra. It's a balance of, cycle and being able to, understand your inner cycles and outer cycles and how to quote unquote ride that wave or, maintain through the ebb and flow of, that cycling energy. Hence, the breath work and, the microcosmic orbit when we talk about breath work and the pranayama breathing. But again, you know, these 12 movie specialists setting the stage, for you to, are setting up your character for you to step on the stage, and this also strongly has to deal with, I ain't saying these three planets are the only planets or main planets that have to deal with your reincarnation or incarnation process, but I think about again, uh the moon, Saturn, which is mostly talk about the moon and Saturn, but also Mars energy. When you think about, your bloodline, and Mars, connected to iron, your blood connected to iron, and Mars has an energy of war, but also passion. And when you think about, some of your blood relatives, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? Well, y'all might have been at each other necks before, or, and then had moments of, just being compassionate with each other. But, for whatever, for better or for worse, for positive or negative, a lot of the people who, reincarnate around us or incarnated around us in our physical experience, is connected to us through that Mars energy. Either we probably had some beef, like we had some war energy going on between us, and we, uh, karmically, manifested into the same bloodline to, remove or transmute that, that toxic karma. Or it was somebody who you was constantly, passionate about, but again, it's that positive and negative aspect of the Mars energy. And again, anatomy is mythology by law and vice versa. You know, Saturn energy is, when we talk about inside our bodysuit, it's connected to the bones. And again, the bones basically create, ours, it produces the red blood cells. It's where the red blood cells are created, for lack of a better word, through the bone marrow. So when you read that as an energetic storyline, it's like as above, so below, as within, so without, then that's saying basically that the Saturn energy is responsible for, how certain bloodlines manifest, and what bloodline you manifest into, or who's going to be, in the script, in your movie, who's gonna be in this, who's gonna be scripted as your mother, who's gonna be scripted, all right, so and so, you're gonna play his sister, and it's in essence also goes to the Truman Show when I think about that too, what I'm saying, the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, but again, like that Saturnian energy, and again, Saturn is, quote unquote, the chronos energy, chronological chronos, so time, what I'm saying, and what you do over, for lack of a better word, over so many cycles or over so much time, like what, the cause and effect, or karma, because again, karma is cause and effect. It's not what was good and what was bad. What I'm saying? It's just cause and effect. Whatever cause, whatever actions you took, it has a certain effect. And you're gonna deal with that same effect until you change your cause or until you change your actions, aka till you respond differently. And no coincidence that, again, when we talk about the word response ability, your ability to respond, but a responsibility is connected to the planet Saturn, because karmic energy of planet Saturn is like, look, you're gonna learn how to tighten up on your ability to respond to certain things. And since, you always was either warring with this person or you was too passionate about this person to the point where you end up not doing what, something that you was supposed to do, or you know what I'm saying? We're gonna line things up in this certain type of way. And then the moon comes in because, along with the passion, in essence, strong emotions are created, and for the most part, that's one of the main aspects of what causes lesson loops is, like our emotions in essence, and being triggered, because again, it's Saturn responsibility, and instead of reacting the same way, you know, and reacting the same way, aka, being in a certain habitual nature of doing things. And that also, again, that goes to the subconscious, and that's, where the moon energy comes in. The water is mem in Hebrew, memory, you know what I'm saying? Your memory, water, the feminine aspect, you know what I'm saying, that's connected to some extent to the past and traditions. Because again, your habitual nature, what I'm saying, and subconscious nature is going to always, is on default, is always going to do what you used to do, like in the past. And not only just your past in this lifetime, but also connected to past lifetimes. So it's accumulation of your past on multiple levels that you just automatically aligning with, what I'm saying, with the moon energy. And so with that moon energy, again, it's also the emotions, lunar, lunatics, you know what I'm saying? When the full moon is out, the waters is moving. But again, it's like emotional attachments is also one of the reasons of, reincarnate, in a lot of cases, you know. But again, it's that Saturn moon energy, you know what I'm saying, that in essence has that strong influence on the reincarnation process. Not going to, again, it's not like the only planets that had something to do with it, but it's very strongly has its hand in the pot of that, of that connection. So again, you see, the 12 movie specialists and how that all correlate. Again, all right, in this part of the movie, you need to have more of a solar energy in connection with the Virgo archetype. In this part of the movie, you need to have more of a Uranus connection with the Sagittarius archetype. Like again, like again, preparing you for the stage. And when you look at that, then also realizing everything within this realm has truth in it. Even if that truth could be twisted or used to confuse you, or or be presented in a half-truth type of manner. It has truth in it, but you look at again within the cameras, so basically, like everything that happens in this realm, it has some connection. And what I mean by that too, I would always say, like with the school system, like the school system and the way it's set up is not the best way. Like it's not, say for instance, when you're in school, it's not teaching you about your subconscious. It's not teaching you that your source or a soul or a spirit on a human experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like not teaching you those straight up facts that you would really need to know. You know what I'm saying? It's not teaching you that you shouldn't be born into a hospital and shouldn't be leaving through no hospital with all that, you know, those toxic energies in the hospital, things of this nature. It's not teaching you the full facts of things, and it's also subconsciously programming you to be like, a prisoner. In essence, you get a lunch number, you wear uniforms, you got to sit down and be quiet and listen to the teacher nonstop, even though you're just 5 or 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, it instills a certain toxic subconscious perspective. But again, in that same note, it does have truth in it because this realm is considered, and again, not to say it's something bad or good, you know what I'm saying, but just in the sense of, again, a prism or prison planet, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the soul or spirit is kind of like, locked into, this bodysuit, you know what I'm saying, into the hex or hexagram, you know what I'm saying, the square, or should I say the cube, the black box, you know what I'm saying? No coincidence that, they use the yoni, a slang terminology for the yoni is a box, and you know what I'm saying, melanated beings could be terminology used as expressed in the terminology of being black, and you see that whole connection again, like uh coming through the black box. And let me slow down a little bit. But with all that being said, again, you see the connection with, again, like the school system, although it has toxic programming built into it, you know what I'm saying, to not help you remember who you are as a being. It also has truth in it because, a part of being in this realm is like, uh, being in imprisonment as a spirit or a soul that's used to not being in a bodysuit in essence. You know what I'm saying? Again, nothing, quote unquote good or bad about it. That's just what it is. And so that same analogy with the school, same thing with movies. Some movies have half truths in them. Some movies promote subconscious programming that could be harmful towards, you understanding yourself to the fullest as a being, you know. But at the same time, there's truth to, the whole movie thing. It's still an explanation of, being in this realm, you know what I'm saying? We talk about illusion, you know what I'm saying, and magic, you know, like filming movies is a part of, it's like subconscious magic, you want to talk about the movie Inception, like implementing dreams into somebody, or going into somebody's dreams and implementing certain things to shift their subconscious. In essence, the movie Inception would need a, if I say Leonardo DiCaprio, but you see this little, PentaPrism, and again, pentagram, being into the five. Uh, let's see, I don't already showed this, but and some actors are holding on to their persona as much as possible while embracing changes to the smallest degree, aware of wholeness, but clinging to their role as I use as an example, as a Black person, as the ship is sinking. And what I meant, like again, like as the ship sinking, or quote unquote, like, as, things constantly changing, and to hold on to a certain idea or a certain, again, a certain perspective of ourselves or a certain persona, that causes us to be stiff, as a being, because as a being that's, able to take multiple forms, and again, as a being that's more than just a human, you know, the healthiest thing is for us to not get locked into one perspective of being, aka the human perspective. Now, again, it's a balance. That doesn't mean that we, don't embrace our now moment, and don't, because again, the now moment is very important, and we are on a human experience right now. It's just understanding, though, from an archetypical perspective, in essence, to not get, stagnant in one way of doing things or being, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of just always being flexible, in our perspectives, because again, you could be doing one thing throughout this lifetime, like mostly doing, painting artwork, or mostly, you know, doing music, or, mostly doing astrology readings for people, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying like, like having to constantly change up, your sole purpose, so to speak, or like not having to constantly change up, the goods and services you provide in this realm, but just more so again, like just uh being flexible with, not holding on to, like certain information, like, oh, because I read this book, this should be the only truth. And it's like, no, there's other perspectives and other things that you may be blocking out because you're holding on to this, kind of like the analogy of, that Zen story about the this guy went to visit, one of the Zen monks, and he was somebody from America who kind of had like one of those, predisposed perspectives of how Zen is, is this, is that, blah, blah, blah. I already know like that type of perspective. And so when he got to the monk asked him if he wanted some tea, and the monk sensed this energy in him, like of like, oh, he feels he knows it all about Zen, but yet he's here to quote unquote learn more about it. So the Zen monk, pouring him some tea, and then the monk overpours the tea, you know what I'm saying? Like to where water's flowing out the cup, and then the interviewer like, man, what you doing? You making it overflow. He was like, well, that's basically how you come into me, in the sense of like you coming to me with your cup already, full, in the sense of like you already got a perspective of what you think Zen is. So how can I, pour something in your cup when it's already, what I'm saying, like you already got something in it, aka you already got a perspective about what Zen is, what I'm saying, in your mind already. So how can I, pour more into that? You know what I'm saying? And this is also when we talk about stepping into, the astral planes and going into, the different inner realms of self to tap in with, higher self, spirit guides, ancestors, which is all different perspectives of ourself, you know. But when we go in there, and asking questions, you got to ask questions as if the stuff that you learned in this realm about a certain subject, you know, don't exist. Like if I'm going to ask about water, again, I gotta let go of the science that, oh, it's H2O. It's like, all right, what if it's not H2O? Let's just leave this behind. Let's, when I go in the spirit world, it's like spirit worm. But spirit world, like asking without holding on to that perspective of, oh, it's H2O already. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's kind of like that perspective. But again, just seeing, because also you see like the little lenses, the little circles, and no coincidence that some lenses, you got like the fisheye lens, the fisheye connected to the Pisces energy. And I did a video on the 9 to 5 talking about the connection with the numerology, and then also breaking down the etymology of the word five. And we'll also speak of prisms, again, looking at the definition of prisms, a solid geometric figure whose two end faces are similar, equal, and parallel, you know, rectilinear, rect, um, figures, and whose sides are parallelograms. Or it could be speaking to a glass or other transparent object in prism form, especially one that is triangular with refracting surfaces at an acute angle or acute angle with each other, and that separates white light into spectrum of colors. You know what I'm saying? Because this also speaks to the perspective of, by being in this prism, this prism creates a individual experience, aka it takes, you know, our wholeness, in essence, for lack of a better word. And then, you know, you could say refracted, or like just basically it fragments, because we talk about like integrating the soul fragments, you know. So a prism in essence fragments, like it just said, like the white light, you know, or even white light or the black light in essence, because black is, is all colors being sucked in, and white light is all colors being pushed out, you know. And then also again used figuratively with reference to the clarification or distortion afforded by a particular viewpoint. And, get to the etymology of it, in Greek, prizing, to saw, like you're sawing something. So again, like separating, what I'm saying, fragmenting. And prisma, thing sewn. So like something that's already sewn, like a past tense of sawing. And again, the whole connection to geometry. But so it's safe to say that, like however we're experiencing this realm, it's like a projection through a camera in essence. It's like, and when we talk about like, this realm being a reflective realm, like, like we've seen the reflection of our subconscious in essence, no coincidence that again within this camera, cameras is reflecting off of these, again, different little mirrors. The image goes in, reflects off of this, and then you seeing, whatever it is with your two eyes, you know. But again, the PentaPrism, just again, just showing how it all, connects on the etymology level, and with, the science of this camera again is connected to the science of this realm. The whole reason why a camera was, somebody channeled that information or insight to build a camera the way they do is because of, it having a higher truth, so to speak, higher for lack of a better word. Again, the dimensional connections. Let's, no, it's not this one, but since I'm on this one, oh wait, hold on, let's see. All right, but this also speaking to again the geometry, 360 degrees, and you see again that importance of 3, 6, and 9. This equals 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 8 plus 1 is 9. In the feminine, the 360 degrees from a circle perspective, and I should have put right there too that, you know, this is the whole truth, but it's still like the whole truth from the feminine light or feminine perspective. And then a square is the whole truth from a masculine perspective. It's about like, hence why the flower of life and Metatron's cube, like that shape, where it has the flower of life with the curves and it has the straight lines, it's kind of like that whole truth instead of just the flower of life or just Metatron's cube. You see the triangle, which the upper triangle is masculine, downward triangle feminine, and that's 180 degrees, so that's half truth, you know. And then you see the storylines in the, in the symbol. You got the star right side up, so to speak. Again, let's just say the star with the point facing up and the star with the point facing down, in essence, with the 1 point facing down and the 1 point facing up. And, also it telling the story of the bodysuit in the sense of, the downward star, kind of more so focuses on the Aries energy or the head energy. And the Aries energy is kind of like, the individual perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like, more focus on, you know, again, that Aries perspective. And you look at it as if, again, like the head is what is the foundation of this star, and then the feet right here, the 2 feet is the foundation of this star, and the feet deal with Pisces energy, you know, and the Pisces energy. And I think I got that picture while I'm here. Let's see. Uh, no, it's not in here. But I got this one that kind of still just the different parts of the body in connection with the 12 movie specialists. But so again, this star represents, standing on the Pisces energy being more of the foundation of the expression. And this star is speaking to more of the Aries energy being the foundation of this expression, you know. And again, there's multiple ways you could break this down. So as much as somebody could say, oh, that's not the truth in essence, but it's like, well, it speaks for itself, in the science again of, you know, how the body is expressed esoterically, aka that which is hidden, what I'm saying, on a spiritual level, what I'm saying. This information, speaks to, again, like the truth is in the expression and the understanding, the insight or information or knowledge across the board. Let's see, where's another one? Back to that. And I spoke on this in the video about Shang-Chi. If you check out the video I did on Shang-Chi, matter of fact, let's just put it up right here. While we added this video, you know, this video right here has some, good insight and connection with this. But then also, let's see. Now, which, when you search these things, it won't come up, as precise due to the little, the whole little thing with the algorithms. But it's the video where I kind of spoke on, again, this picture right here. You see, and breaking down the etymology of dragon, breaks down to what it is, into so dragon breaks down to the number 5, and no coincidence, dragon breaking down to the number 5 and 5 again, being in the bodysuit, because a star in essence represents being in, in this human form. And I just posted that, in another video. Okay, 5-pointed star. You could again upside down or with the point facing down, it would be the foundation focus more on the Aries, more on the individual perspective. And it's not to say that the upside down star means that a person connecting with it don't know how to, unconditionally love or, have a relationship with others. It just has more of that, more of the energy is focused from the Aries perspective, from the Ram perspective, you know what I'm saying? The Mars energy, you know, the fire energy. And, this star is more so the Christ energy, you know. Then also another part to etymology in the perspective of, pronunciation, like pronouncing these different, letters in essence, also speaks to like, say for instance, like when it's talking about the dental letters, it's like letters that you almost gotta use your teeth with to kind of express like d, you know. Some of them may seem like it's like in, but even in, but also seeing, again, these words that's used, with this dental form of expression, again, as above, so below, as within, so without. The dental is the teeth connected to the skeleton or the bones is connected to the Saturn energy, and no coincidence that, you know, because you think of Saturn, Saturn is like, in essence, kind of restriction, kind of like sharp energy, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about discipline, you know what I'm saying? Or even the word Saturn, t uh, discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like those words kind of, connect with the energy, in some way, form, or fashion. Got the guttural k, g, coming from the gut, in essence, you know what I'm saying? In essence, from the solar plexus, you know, so most maybe like, these words will point to a connection with the solar energy, you know, and then also seeing this connection, with breathing and S, H, and V connected to breathing. No coincidence that, that's the words that's in Shiva and Shiva connected to, doing the breath work. No coincidence that the Shiva Lingam, you know, the Shiva Lingam connected to, you know, uh, basically balancing out the yin and yang energies, but also in a microcosmic orbit, but also like, promoting chi energy and promoting like that connection with the breath, in Shiva, and then also similar to, the word, or should I say the letter Shin in Hebrew, which connected to fire. And again, fire is also connected to air because that's the two masculine elements, that has a symbiotic relationship with each other. Because when you breathe in, you're lighting that fire within, you making that, you igniting that chi. So you see all the different little connections. And finally, with this picture that I kept going to without talking about it, this is me just kind of adding a little extra to it. But again, just how like the archetypes, speak to or speak through, the body again through numerical expression. We talk about the eyes and the mouth, what I'm saying, or this triangle, and for sure, like the mouth, connected to the Mercury energy. And you see how the three energy, what I'm saying, again, three is also the parent of 6 and 9, what I'm saying, six being the second trinity, or, or should I say, let's see, one, two, and three. Then you got 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6 is the second Trinity, and 7, 8, and 9 is the third Trinity. And let's see. I don't know if I got that part in. Oh wait, let's see. Oh, it is, and I just gotta move this again. 3 is the breast that feeds. 1 and 2, in essence. Basically, again, the messenger energy, the shape shifting hermaphrodite energy. And Hermes considered, connected to the Mercury energy. And it's again connected to the trickster energy because the trickster energy or the number 3 energy represents, being able to go in between realms. Like it's that, and basically in the general raw expression of it, like you can't tell whether this energy is for the yin or the yang. Is this energy for, helping out this god or the other god, because it's a messenger between all of them. So, you know, in essence, you know, uh, it would seem untrustworthy. Now you do have, as I make it, to express it from the raw perspective, yes, you do have, you know, malevolent tricksters as much as you have a benevolent energy to it. Everything has a positive and negative to it. And that'll be another subject for another time of how the trickster also serves as, basically like a catalyst or agent for integration work, you know, for integrating all the different perspectives in the being, again, being that messenger, but from a perspective, again, it could be the messenger that makes all the gods or energies mad at each other. It could be, the energy that the messenger that helps for all the different, gods, goddesses, archetypical energies to harmonize with each other or integrate with each other. Not being exactly alike, but just harmonizing their individual perspectives, you know. But again, all hermaphrodite beings specialize at using their mouth. You talk about Mercury, like words, you know what I'm saying? Spelling, you know what I'm saying? Singing. That's the mermaid and siren energy. Spitting, eating. Again, you see how that all connects. Mhm. This is kind of speaking to the cherubim. And again, it's also 12 archetypes, zodiac signs, the Taurus, energy, the bull energy. The cherubim, in essence, like a representation of the 4 elements or the 4 fixed signs in out of the 12, movie specialists in this case. And again, with insight like this, is promoting, self-understanding because it's getting to a space of again like understanding that you gain wisdom more so from like understanding yourself, and with information like this, like as I'm presenting this, it's for it to help you to understand yourself more and not just be able to walk around saying, oh well, the cherubim mean the 4 elements, and and 3, 6, and 9 is the most important. It's like it's not to use for like conversational pieces as much as it's uh it's being presented for you to understand, again, like how your body works, how like who you are as a being, and how your body works, you know, uh from the whole perspective, like, the physical body, etheric, astral, you know what I'm saying, how that's all connected from this perspective, though, again, like kind of speaking to, the transition from, the non-physical into the physical, aka again, like coming into this movie, into this plane of existence, with the five energy, the phi, phi ratio, which the phi ratio connected to, and I got like the little phi symbol in the middle. And the phi symbol also connected to on and off. And matter of fact, I don't think but let's see, right here in this area, the word on, connected to, goes to 6 and 5 and goes to 11, like 1 and 1 is like on, you know what I'm saying? Like, whole thing with the Y2K, like, oh, it's gonna show two zeros. The year 2000, all the computers gonna shut down because it's gonna say 000 on it. You know what I'm saying? Which again is just all confusion stuff like that. But you know, again, seeing with etymology and gematria and like how much that kind of breaks down the science as well. So this also video is a solution and just showing you how you could get answers on your own. Like you don't have to keep referencing this video. Like after watching it one time, you could sit and do all of this for yourself, you know what I'm saying? And don't have to keep, you know, depending. Because for the most part, you know, I realize like with doing videos on YouTube, a lot of us in essence are more so messengers more than teachers, in essence, where what we speaking on is just helping to, kind of bring forth messages from the spirit realm, just to, to be like the physical help, because again, you don't want to become dependent on external confirmation. It's just a helper, you know what I'm saying? And again, different strokes for different folks in different cycles and different moments, you know. The message of may be for somebody else at a certain moment, you know what I'm saying, where you no longer require messages from a certain book or certain videos and things of this nature. You don't moved on from that space, so it's for somebody else. But again, it's like the constant repetition of like doing videos in a lot of cases is being a messenger. It's almost like, doing tarot card readings without tarot cards or without, you know, doing astrology for those of us, that do present information in that manner, you know. But we're gonna close it out right here, you know what I'm saying? Just want to show all of those connections. Again, the 12 movie specialists in the PentaPrism that's in the camera with the mirrors. Think about the Hall of Mirrors, or Alice in Wonderland in the upside down, topsy-turvy world. What's up is down, what's down is up. But that's also how our eyesight work, where it kind of flips the image, within the eyesight. But that's basically it. So, again, tap in with this information to gain more, or just in essence, just helping you to learn how to teach yourself, seeing how all these different things correlate across the board, you know. But and to refine the insight that I already shared on this channel. So that's basically it. Y'all know what it is. Uh, and all donations greatly appreciated. Donation links under mostly all the videos. If you feel this video can help somebody, definitely feel free to share it with somebody else who you feel could benefit from the insight. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for crystal artwork, check out, you know, uh, for now, the Epic Lifestyles page on Instagram, EPIKLIFESTYLEC. Epic Lifestyles on Instagram for ordering crystal artwork. If you're looking for some crystal art, we got the pendants and bracelets for right now. But definitely check out that. And again, got the Patreon page. Link is underneath, all the videos. But that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Now is the vibe break. Much love and appreciation for y'all always coming into the space and holding the space of being your unique, genuine expression of source energy. But yeah, that's it. Y'all know what it is. Now is a vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. Peace.